So today we're going to take a look at one of the biggest hype beasts over the last several years in this community. And of course I'm talking about F Black by Salvatore Ferragamo. Stay tuned. So I no longer have the box. I've been having this for a while. I really don't wear it all that often, as you can see by the juice level, but we can take a look at the bottle, which it has become an iconic bottle at this point because, like I said, this is one of the fragrances that have been hyped to death over the years for its resemblance to one of the most popular designer fragrances of all time. Some fragrance information on the bottom. Cap does click into place, and then with the atomizer, it does put out pretty good. Let's talk about these similarities in this scent. So when I say these similarities, this is most widely known as a cheap alternative to this, La Nuit de l'Homme. And do they smell similar? They do have similarities. Is it a one-to-one copy? Far from it. So we'll take a look at the notes on the screen here. So what's prominent to me on this one is where La Nuit de l'Homme is known for this sweet and spicy and powdery cardamom. This doesn't have the cardamom. This, what's dominated to give it a similar smell to me, is an aromatic peppery smell. So there's a black pepper and a lavender here that really take over the opening and majority of the life of this fragrance. There's a slight sweetness here. It's a little bit of a fruity sweetness, but it's not overly sweet. I would say La Nuit de l'Homme is definitely the sweeter fragrances. The sweeter fragrance. Now, they definitely perform relatively close to one another, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. But you can have this one for around $20, depending on where you find it. When you find it at the rack stores, 50 ml is usually going to run you $20. Under 30 will get you a 100 milliliter bottle. And comparatively in price, this is probably the better route to go. But as far as it being a copy of La Nuit de l'Homme, I would say maybe 75% to 80%. You know, you can tell that's the way they were going, but the change in sweetness, the difference from going from cardamom to lavender and black pepper makes enough of a difference to where I would say it's not a direct clone. It's definitely inspired by, and it's kind of their take on that fragrance, if you will, and it's a beautiful fragrance nonetheless. What really does it for this fragrance is that beautiful trail. So this is a sexy and seductive date night type of fragrance. Yes, you can wear this one to work. You can do anything with any fragrance at any time. But my personal recommendations is this is best geared towards evenings out. If you're on a budget looking for a fragrance that's going to draw some attention for you, has kind of a seductive vibe going for it, this definitely has that. That's where the strong similarities lie, is they're both aromatic and spicy and a little powdery, but this one's more creamy than powdery. This one is powdery. And this one you're going to spend a lot more money, even from discounters. Don't get me wrong, great fragrance. Not as strong as it used to be, but still performs relatively close to one another, and that's where I want to touch on the performance with this one. So I've heard newer bottles, yada yada yada, 3-4 hours. So I hear this from people all the time, and everything's subjective. Everything's based off of skin chemistry. I don't think these companies, every single batch, are reformulating these things to death. Like some people will lead you to believe in the comments and in posts on social media. So take all of that with a grain of salt and try it for yourself. If you have a Salvatore Ferragamo store near you, it is still produced. You can go sample an actual tester bottle and try it on your skin. As far as carded samples, I'm not really sure. I don't see them that often because I don't really look for them. I would definitely check eBay, Amazon, places like that. But this is one that I find the performance is more in that 6 to 7 hour range, which is kind of similar to the performance I get from newer bottles of La Nuit de l'Homme, which this is a 2018 batch, which is relatively new. So it's the lighter colored juice. You know, it's not some beast mode performer, that dark orange ambery colored juice. Same goes with this one. This is, I want to say, late 2018. I picked this bottle up. You can see I don't wear it that often. because it's very specific for date nights and stuff like that. So it gets reached for occasionally. If you're on a budget, though, this is probably one of the best budget date night fragrances you can get your hands on, because for 20 bucks, you'll be smelling great. Don't get me wrong. There's a chance you'll be smelling very similar to others in the restaurant because this is so popular, and this is kind of a take, Ferragamo's take on that fragrance. So be mindful of that. If you want to stand out from the crowd, maybe not the best fragrance for that. But if you just want something that your lady's most likely going to really enjoy, not cost you a lot of money, and perform decent, you should absolutely give F Black from Salvatore Ferragamo a fair shake. Well, that's just my quick thoughts on F Black from Salvatore Ferragamo. Been around for a long time now, extremely popular fragrance, and it warrants the hype. This is a hype-worthy fragrance. Is everybody going to like it? No, that's as with all fragrances, but for the most part, you really can't go wrong with this one. This is one of the best affordable date night options out there on the market. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have already tried this, had a bottle, have a bottle, love it, hate it? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on a bottle of F Black and you give it a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.